Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome back to our top 100 games of all time.
It's all time, yes, the top 100, it's moving along. We hope you are enjoying the series so far. If you haven't seen it, what should you do?
Go back and watch the other videos.
Yes.
You will understand all the cliffhangers and intrigues that's coming up.
Yes, and all the jokes, the stuff that's going on.
Yes.
You will have to watch it all to understand it. You don't actually have to do it, but it's good stuff and good games. Okay.
Today we're doing our 70 to 61st. I had to check.
61st game, yes, because there's so many games, so cool games. The games are all so good and they're getting better and better and better. If you don't know, we don't know each other's list, so it's a bit of a suspenseful thing for us as well. And you are the beginner, so you are going to begin.
My number 70 is Mythos Tales, and it has fallen from place 35.
Oh, wow.
But it is because we play it so seldom, and I also, like before, I had this really love for this kind of game. I do still.
Yes.
But now I also love other games. That sounds really sad. But this is like Sherlock Holmes consulting detective just set in the Cthulhu universe. Thank you. So it's really morbid, really dark stories, and you're trying to solve it all. Super cool.
This is one that I need to be like in a specific mood to enjoy.
Yeah.
But when we are, it's one that you could sit in a couch and play.
Yeah.
Like it would be perfect, like at an evening in a cabin with a little low light and just sitting there. And it's a talking game, like more than it's a sitting and it's a deduction game where you are just reading and it's cooperative. And my number 70 is a cooperative game. Ooh, I have a few of those on my list, and it is going to be Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Cool.
It was my number 38 last time, so it has fallen a bit. Basically because it's a game you're never going to play again, but it's still one of my favorite gaming experiences. And some games, like when it comes to one-shot games, it's like I'm calling it a one-shot game because you're playing the whole campaign and then you're done. It's kind of hard to fit it into the list because other things will fluctuate because you play it, you don't play it, but these games you never play. So like it's easy for the trend to be for them to fall and fall and fall, but I have to like sit down and remember, what did I feel when I played this game? How much fun did I have? You sadly haven't gotten to experience Pandemic Legacy Season 1 because you did something called studying in another city, so you weren't living here for a few years. You played a couple of the scenarios, which was kind of weird because you didn't understand what... We were just like, whoa, this happened, and you were like, something happened, I don't know what. Pandemic Legacy Season 1, story is great. I don't like Pandemic. So if you are like me and you dislike Pandemic, play Pandemic Legacy. It's fantastic, and never play Pandemic because it's not fantastic. That's my number 7.
My number 69 is a new addition to the list.
Ooh.
It's Jekyll and Hyde versus Scotland Yard.
Yes.
And that was like one of my favorite two-player games that came out last year, and also one of my favorite games that came out last year. And it's a two-player trick-taking game.
Yes.
Which is really unique because you have like a third player that just like plays card and can screw up your whole plan, and you're trying to foresee the unforeseeable and win the game. Well, I really like how they took a twist on trick-taking and made it work really well with two players.
Yeah, and it's a cooperative game. That's like an important part of it, which made it even more surprising that I also liked it as much. My number 69 is going to be a game from Vladimir Suhi. This was not on the list last time because I think it came out in 2022. It's Woodcraft. You already had it on the list. It's about making these different things from wood, and the wood are dice. You can grow trees and then you can cut them down, and then you can take the wood and you can cut it into pieces, which then, like if you have a 5, you will cut it into a 2 and a 3. Then you can glue things together. It's just like these very nice mechanisms in a super tight economic game with a very nice action selection mechanism. Really enjoy Woodcraft.
My number 68 has nearly not moved since last time it was my number 66, and that is The Mocker. And The Mocker is the
best theme ever.
The best theme ever. It's about the German election system, But it is a game with so much interaction, and I think it's one of the first games that with so much interaction.
Yes.
With Wildcatters also,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that really opened my eyes to that I can like interaction as well, even though this game can feel really mean.
Yes.
But it's so fun.
Yeah, and it's might be the oldest game on your list.
Yeah.
Like it's over 40 years old now.
Yes.
It's a
I
very
do have
old
chess
game.
here. Also, it's coming
Yes.
later, but
And Go, like 2,000 years old, more than that. And my number 68, when it comes to, it was my number 79, and it's kind of, it has risen a bit, but it's not a game. It's a game system, basically. It's Unlock. This is one of those that it's hard to put on a list because I can't say, I'm not going to say, oh, it's this Unlock. It's like this scenario of an Unlock, which is an escape room game if you don't know it, which has come, like there's been 20, almost, no, it's been like over 10 boxes now. So it's been like 36 different scenarios. We still have a couple we haven't played for the newest one. And we love them, like, and they're getting better instead of worse, like other escape room games are being. They always surprise me with different ways to use the app, with different ways to use the cards, the box, the rulebook, everything. They are very good at surprising me of doing different things with this. Usually just some cards. With the later scenarios, there have been like a few other things as well for some scenarios. But still, the thing they managed to do with a 60 card deck is just amazing, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yes, I do too, and it's a hard one to put on a list because of the reasons you said. My number 67 is Tzolk'in the Mayan calendar,
Yes.
and it was 56 last time. Like those small adjustments, I feel like those are a little random, or like
Yeah,
it could
day to day,
yeah, day to
basically,
day.
yeah.
But Tzolk'in is an amazing game, which is such a really unique. What do you call it? The board with all the cogs.
Yes.
So
The timing mechanism,
mechanism, because on your turn you're either putting out one worker or retrieving X amount of workers, and you want to stay on the cog for as long as possible because the action gets better every turn. The cog turns.
Yeah.
But you also need to do stuff. So it's finding that balance. Really unique game.
Yeah, so if you don't have any workers, you have to take in. It's like a balance of how many you want to put out, how many you want to take in. It's really interesting. My number 67 was my number 74 last time. I am pretty sure it's going to be higher on your list. It's one that you have always liked better than me. It is a speed game called Galaxy Trucker. Galaxy Trucker always been a staple of our collection, one that has always been there, I think will always be there. Right now we own two versions because we own the old with all the expansions we had, and we own the new version of Galaxy Trucker, the second edition as well. I think there's like a couple of expansions that has come out for that as well. Maybe I might be misremembering, but it's a speed game where you're working for a company which sells scrap parts, basically. They make like toilets and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to, because there have been so many, what is it called, like accidents, you have to now build the spaceship out of the parts you are selling and then drive it to that place and then sell your spaceship, what's left of it, after being hit by meteors and aliens. And then you will be stranded there, so you have to build a new spaceship and go another place. It's a fun game, it is funny, and it is a great game, yes.
Yeah,
Words.
It's one of the real-time games that I like action. I can actually win over you in.
That's true.
My number 66 is Princess of Florence, and it was in my late 50s last time. Princess of Florence, I'm looking forward to play the new edition. We have it, we just haven't gotten to it yet, but this is an auction game, which should make me less interested, but that is kind of all there is to the game. Well, you puzzle also in the grid, like puzzling things. And it was interesting that every time you get points or money, you have to like decide how much of the points you're going to get as money.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance between having to get points, but also having to afford the things that you want to afford.
My number 66 is a completely new game to the list, And it might be surprising for somebody that it's this low because of the rating I gave the game, because the game is from last year and the game is Voidfall. And it's hard like sometimes to make this top 100 because if I were to go like the ratings I do for a game, it's weird because it doesn't completely mean that if I give something a 9 or a 10, it's gonna be like in the top 20 because there's so many games and there's so many games for different reasons and different reasons I like them. So I can like an 8 better than a 10 for like, you know what I mean? Like in the long run. So Voidfall is a game that is super good. You can go check our in-depth long review for it. But the thing with it is that it is a beast.
Yeah.
It is like, it's the first time I set it up, it took like 90 minutes to set it up. After that, I got it down to like an hour. So it's like a long setup, it's a long teach, it's a long play. So it's a very specific game. It's not one where, and that's the reason basically why it's lower than, and as well with Hegemony that I had, also that's one of the reasons it's such a specific game. It's an event game. It's not one I look at and say, oh, let's play that today, which doesn't happen, but it happens in my brain. Like, and when I see Voidfall or Hegemony, for example, I'm going to look at them and being like, that's a really cool game. I want to play that someday. And yeah, so I really like the game. If you want to know more in depth why, you can check out the review, but it's a great game.
My number 65 is Pulsar 2849.
Sci-fi theme.
It was in my late 50s last time. I think this dice drafting game is really interesting. I like dice drafting as a concept, and in this game you're using the dice to move around on this in space.
In space.
And getting points, getting to explore these planets, and also you have a lot of different abilities you can unlock.
Yeah, there's so much variability, so many like the different tracks that you can use. You have boards which are double-sided with different abilities. So many ways to go for points. This is one that I always look at and will be like, I want to play this one. My number 65 was not on the list last time, and I was surprised when I saw that because it's a fantastic game. But as I said, there's some things about my list that has kind of changed, and I'm interested if you understand it, but I don't know. I will see, and I'm not sure if I know exactly what happened myself, but I know there are some changes to it in my way of thinking about it. My number 65, which wasn't on the list last time, is Cascadia.
What?
Yes. It was not on the list, and it's a fantastic game. It's one of those that we recently played it. And when we recently played, I was like, this is just always fun.
Yeah.
This is one of those that will always be fun. It's a gateway plus, like it's a little next step maybe because of like the different rules. You can play the family variant, which will make it very simple. But like you have this random thing with a drafting, which is okay, but like it can be a bit random. But then again, you have the ways to wipe it out, and it's kind of the way of the puzzle is to try to work with what pieces you get. But then you're trying to piece these things together with the terrain, and then you're trying to get the animals in the correct order for the scoring cards that I use that game. But there's different scoring cards every single time, and it's just a lot of fun. The expansion adds to it as well.
My number 64 is Age of Steam. And it has fallen. It was my number 45 last time. I really like Age of Steam, but as you with, for example, Mythos, I need to be in a specific mood to play Age of Steam because it's so hard and so tight. You might say that it's a simple game.
Yes. If you want to understand that joke, you can go and check out the low complexity, high depth video where I get roasted for the whole video.
Yes, you do, and I'm not letting go of that.
No,
but
never.
Yeah, it's a game that makes my brain hurt, but at the same time, I like it.
Yes, it's a fantastic game. The next one for me, it was also not on the list last time. This is a new version of it, but still, the old one should have been on the list, I feel like. But Post Johannes also made mistakes. It's La Granja Deluxe Edition. La Granja is a super cool game. It has these multi-use cards which are super duper cool. So many ways to use them. You're trying to harvest the right ingredients to deliver to the market. There's this area majority on the market. It's just like so many interesting things. With the Deluxe Edition, the Deluxe Master Set from Board & Dice, you're getting all of these different expansions, so many expansion modules from pretty cool designers like Stefan Feld. And we have been enjoying that so much, and it's one that it's like a medium game, which not too much to it, but just enough for it to be amazing.
Yeah, my number 63 is Riverboat, and it has almost the exact same placement as last time.
What was it last time?
64.
Yeah.
The Riverboat is a surprisingly fun game because the concepts are so simple. Every time you're going through like the same motions, like everybody is doing like the same faces. You have some drafting in the beginning that makes you better at some of the faces than the other players, and you're basically like sowing crops, harvesting the crops, and making money to buy riverboats.
Yes, that is basically it. My number 63 was my number 30 last time, so it has fallen quite a bit, again because it's one of those event-style games. It's Star Wars Rebellion, one that you also actually usually enjoy as we play them. It's not one that you will say, oh, let's play that, because you get kind of stressed out by this cat and mouse thing.
Yes.
You have to be the cat, because if you are hiding, you're going to be super stressed out. A lovely thematic. I like Star Wars for the theme. I'm not like a Star Wars nut, but I really enjoy the theme here with the expansion. Makes the game so much better. Really appreciate this game, Star Wars Rebellion.
Yes, it's a hard one for me to play because I get so stressed, but I really appreciate it for the amazing game that it is. My number 62 is Caverna, and it has fallen from space 43 last time. Caverna is a game with a lot of action spaces and a lot of different action spaces that can potentially, different buildings that you potentially can explore every time you play it. So it's a game where you potentially can do a lot of different stuff from time to time, and it's very fun with the expansion as well.
My number 62 is a brand new game to the list, and it is going to be Doodle Dash. Doodle Dash is, and it's weird because I usually did not, there's a couple of drawing games that made me understand that drawing games can be better than Telestrations, which is a snooze fest from Boring Place. And Doodle Dash is fun. If you think Telestrations is fun, if you laugh when you're playing that game, play Doodle Dash, and then you can go and you can throw away Telestrations and never look at it again. Because Doodle Dash is so quick, it's so easy to learn, so much fun, so much laughing, and you don't have to be good at drawing, which make it good for me.
My number 61 is Signori. It was in my late 50s the last time. Signori is a clever game with dice drafting. I like dice drafting.
Yes, it looks like it.
But in this game, you're drafting dice of certain color, and it's very important if you're drafting high or low dice, but because you want to draft high dice to get better abilities, but you also want to be under a specific number to get like a bonus for the round. It's so clever, and also a lot of the game is upgrading your actions so that the different colored dice give you more things, basically.
Yeah, and like this drafting is so interesting because you know that, okay, I really need a high red die, for example, so I need to do that first, but then I'm going to probably get a lower of that color because someone else is going to take those colors. So it's a very interesting and different dice drafting mechanism. My number 61 was my number 64 last time, so pretty much in the same area, and it is going to be Pipeline. Pipeline is a worker placement game with only one worker, where you are trying to build an economic empire of pipes. You're trying to refine oil, basically. So it's like a mixture of a very tight, heavy Euro economic game, and you're also getting these pipelines that you're trying to puzzle. We like puzzles. Puzzle them together in a way that you can then refine the best possible oil that you can, so you can earn more money. It's all about not taking too many loans because you will lose, and it's all about trying to get, like, if you can get started and get some money in the beginning, the game is going to be so much easier, because I remember games where I haven't gotten money in the beginning and I lost horribly. And those are the games.
Yes.
Those are 10 more games on Top 100. We hope you enjoy this. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen these videos yet and you think these people are kind of nice, we like them. then you can help us out and show that in a couple of ways. The most important one is that you can give us a victory point.
And you give us a victory point when you click that subscribe button down there. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
Yes.
And you can also like and subscribe or comment and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can not both give a victory point and subscribe because it's the same thing. But
Yeah.
you can write a comment, let us know what you think about the games we had in this video. And that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.